Hi everyone, welcome back for another whiskey review. Looking today at this wee sample from this amazing Elements of Our tasting pack. Now this feels like a marathon effort because I've recorded 5 reviews back to back, which I don't mind at all because I wanted to do them back to back so all of the information is fresh in my mind as I'm trying the drams, what I think of them. Obviously, the first one, if you've been watching the whole series of them, the first one was the palate 45%. Then I moved on to, what did I have after that one? It was the Port Charlotte. Then I went to the Kalila, Lafroig, and now on to this bad boy from Bunnahabain. As I've been saying through the series, please, even if you're not into independent bottlings, or if not even into the whiskies, go to the Elements of Our website, which I will link in all of the videos. Just amazing how all of the information is laid out, the different codes, how they work. Ma3 represents their 3rd ever release from Bunnahabain. This video is going to be a bit long because there's a lot to talk about. Now, this is not a coincidence that I left this sample to last out of the 5. Because as I've been sharing through the videos, I did actually go through all 5 whiskies at great length with my friend Ma3. We discussed them on a Zoom call because he had the same seat, and we were talking about the different whiskies, what we thought of them, and back and forth. And I just surprised myself because I had already tried a Kalila release from these guys before, so I had kind of made up my mind that I like the Kalila and I'm going to like it again. But it was not my favorite. And then I kind of thought I will settle for the, I'm claiming 18-year-old Lafroig from 1998. Or could be older than 18-year-old. Who knows? But then what really stole my heart is this Bunnahabain release, which was distilled in 2004. It's, I'm just reading my notes. Where are we? 2 ex-bourbon barrels of peated malt from Bunnahabain on Islay, and age of 15 years and just over, and released at a very generous 55.2% ABV. And this feels like the right time to debut the number 8. I'll do a video about this another time, but very, very happy to have this on YouTube and out in public for the first time. Well, let's see what this whiskey is like on the... As you probably have been seeing through the series, I've been trying to get every little bit out of them because all of the whiskies are just mind-blowingly good. And I do want to bring back the price that I might have said in the first video in the series when I did the peat 45%. This retails around 80-85 Kiwi dollars, which seems like a lot of money for 5 30ml samples, but what it represents is immense, you know, in terms of the age and exclusivity of some of the drams. Like the Lafroig, at that age, you're getting a sample, you know, you would probably pay easily $40 plus more Kiwi dollars for a 30ml dram of an 18-year-old bottled at 43%. Well, this one was at 53.9, so score. So that pays for half of the box. And this will pay for 2 of these, and I'll explain why. On the nose, just the gentle maritime character comes up front. The sweetness of, I don't want to say honey because it's just a little bit more complex than honey. Maybe a jam of some sort. Caramel, yeah, and just a little bit of smoke, just a marriage of smoke, maritime character, and just a hint of sweetness, not overpowering, sickly, syrupy sweetness, just a little bit of hint of sweetness on the nose. And I think that's what sort of stole my heart about this dram, is it just had that perfect sweet point by giving the right amount of sweetness, the briny, salty character that some of the island distilleries I enjoy about, and then just a hint of sweetness coming. When I did try this one with Ma3, I found a lot more sweetness actually on the nose, which is not coming for now, but that's okay. Hopefully when I do add just a tiny drop of water, it will bring it out. Well, let's see what's it like on the palate. A 15-year-old Bunnahabain. Wow. Loads of smoke. It's there. It's all over the place. Actually, before the smoke bomb started, there was a bit of sweetness moment there. Like a juicy, ripe apple. Did I want to say ripe apple? Yeah. You know, there was sweetness there, and then the smoke hit like a freight train. But it's good. Enjoying it. Very, very nice. The sweetness is lingering in the background. The sort of maritime character, that salty, briny character, doesn't transfer to the palate. It's not too much. Just enough. Just a little bit. Which again is what I'm probably liking about it, is it's got all three happening in good proportions, but up front maybe just a little bit more smoke. It's making me crackle. Very, very nice. I mean, you know when you like a whiskey, and I don't know, everyone's very different. They enjoy whiskeys in their own unique ways, but for me, I can tell when I'm deeply enjoying a whiskey when my tongue is rolling all around the palate, looking for different flavor receptors, looking for just a bit more, because the whiskey is just so intense. It's so deep in characters. Before I add a bit of water and continue on what's happening on the nose and palate, I did want to share an interesting experience I had at Bunnahabain. So during my only trip to Scotland back in March 2018, I ended up on this amazing place called Islay, which even before I got there, all of the whiskies I've drank over the year, it already had my heart, but after the trip, I think a bit of my soul is just on Islay. Really enjoyed it. On this particular day, I had spent a lot of time driving on Jura, which is a 5-minute ferry ride directly opposite to Islay, just a tiny island. And I got a bit late getting off Jura onto the next ferry. And because that was the day I was going to go to Bunnahabain, the same distillery in my glass. And went to Bunnahabain, rushing a little bit. You go down this big, windy sort of dirt track. You turn a sharp right, and you look down to the distillery, which when I do my tastings, hey, look, these are my memories. I'll describe them however I like. When I turned that right corner, it kind of looked like an abandoned nuclear waste site. It was probably the most weird, I don't want to say dirty, but just, it didn't seem like a distillery because, you know, I've been to Glenlivet, I've been to Glenfiddich, I've been to Ardbeg, I think the day previous, Lefroy and Lagavulin, which are very old machine, very visitor friendly, you know, everything's polished and painted and this and that. We're coming up to Bunnahabain, it was like, did they not expect people will come, or they want to just leave everything rustic, which I enjoyed, I deeply enjoyed. It was so good. Came down the dirt track, past the buildings, you know, very, very old buildings, and parked near the pier, which is probably one of my most favorite places in the world. And I'll add some pictures to the end of this video for you to enjoy as well, because you park there and now you're looking back onto Jura and you're looking at these two big volcanic peaks called the Paps, which is just unbelievable place. I mean, bravo to everyone who's ever worked at Bunnahabain and continues to, because they're looking at that every day, which must be so inspirational. Well, never mind. I go into the distillery shop and this gentleman's working in there who seemed a bit startled a human has walked into the shop, because I don't think he was probably expecting anyone so late in the day. I told him I've come from New Zealand. I'm a big fan of your whiskies. I went on to try a couple of drams, you know, this and that, and got to do a tour. Obviously, I couldn't because I came way too late. That's okay. He gave me some cast samples to try because I told him, you know, I work in the whiskey trade, and he tried his best to look after me. I think I tried a particular sherry dram and then a port cast from memory. Don't remember, you know, just happy days. But overall, it was such a great experience. It was not polished at all like some of the other big distilleries which have mega purpose-built visitor centers, but it was just raw, real rustic, looking at the paps, trying the cask strength whiskey, just something very romantic. It was probably one of the best moments of my life, you know, being at Bunnahabain. It's just a shame I could not do the tour, which is, it is what it is, but hopefully I can go back one day, you know, once COVID and all the other stuff is over, because I would really love to go back and see the heart and soul of the distillery, look at some of the equipment, and maybe try some more cast samples. Well, I've had a couple of bit of orders. Sorry, that was just a long story, but it had to be shared. It's there, sharing a little bit of those moments from my trip to Scotland, and there's so many of those moments, so many, from each of the distillery I've been to, each unique in their own unique way. Well, a little bit of border on the nose. The smoke is there, still there. Probably just a hint more of the honey came through in this time. Definitely a lot more sweetness on the palate now, on the nose, sorry. And just a tiny hint of that briny seaside character. Really good. I mean, I want to drink more Bunnahabain now, and it's going to happen. You watch. The more reviews will come in 2021. Expect like a whole 10, 12 some whiskey review series of Bunnahabain. It's going to happen because I've got so much other stuff stashed away, which I haven't opened yet. On the palate, wow, loads more fruity character up front, and the salty briny character starting to come to the back of the palate, and just a little bit of smoke lingering around the palate. Very good. Hands down, probably one of the best Islay whiskies I've ever tried. It'd be up there. I don't want to say a top 3, top 5, but up there. Really enjoyed it. That was quite good, and really thankful that I kept a couple of these before they ran out and sold out. One for me, one for Ma3. It's a great experience. Sharing obviously the drams virtually. You know, we live in a COVID economy now, so virtually with Ma3, and now recording all the reviews for YouTube. Really good. Get your hands on some if it is available in your local area. Otherwise, go try some other Bunnahabains, you know. In particular, my favorite is the 18-year-old. It's just a magical dram. And if you could afford it, go for the 25-year-old. It's, well, I'll do a review. You'll see. Magic. Well, this has been a great series of videos. All 5 done. I hope you've enjoyed them. They're gone. I've really enjoyed talking about them and obviously trying them. Like I said, I've done 5 back-to-back, which has been really good experience for me, trying 5 different, completely different Islay whiskies, and trying to get an understanding of what makes them different, getting the different flavors. If you're liking the content, please like, share, subscribe. Give me some feedback, leave a comment. Otherwise, I'll see you in the very near future with more whiskey reviews. See you later. Bye-bye.